Hey, what's going on, guys? Dr. Sean J. Harris here, Generational Wealth Academy. Listen, I want to talk to you about the flow of income. Many times we want to build our income, but we have to first of all understand the ebbs and flows of how income works. So let's talk about creating the income circle, or let's say income flow. That's going to be a better term. So the first thing we got to do is we have to first create income. Now, there's various ways of creating income. I like to teach my clients how to create a high income skill set. So what is a high income skill set? A high income skill set is a skill set where you're making at least 5 figures every 30 days or less. So that's going to yield you a 6-figure a year income. So that's the first thing. We want to be able to create income. The next thing you want to do is to be able to increase the income. How do you increase the income? You increase the income by scaling up your revenue sources. So when it increase income, there's various ways of doing that. I'll share just one tidbit what I did when we started our security company many years ago. I had a position where I was making all the money, had the one contract, but then it doubled and then ultimately tripled as far as the contract. But of course, I could only be in one place at one time. So what I did to increase the income was I put another officer in another place and then a third officer in another location. And then subsequently, I started working my way back and out of the position myself. So now in that position, I think the account paid like $70 an hour. I paid the officer $25 an hour. So I was able to profit $50 from location number 2 and also $50 from location number 3. And then subsequently, when I replaced my original position, I was able to get $50 per hour from the first location. So I was able to work my way out of that situation. So next thing you want to do is once you increase the income is you want to be able to save money. But here's the deal. You don't want to just save money just to stuff it under the mattress or put it in a shoebox and put it on the closet shelf, but you want to take that money to hold on to it. There's a thing called an economic bounce. An economic bounce is, it determines how fast money leaves out of a community. So unfortunately, in the African American community, the economic bounce is 4 to 6 hours. So could you imagine that? Once someone gets paid, traditionally that money is out of the community in the first 4 to 6 hours. Then you have the Caucasian community, it's more like 4 to 6 days. Then you have the Arab and the Asian community, it's more like 19 to 21 days. And then the Asian community is 35 plus days before money ever leaves the community. So that's one of the key things is that we want to be able to save the money. Then what we want to do is we want to position ourselves at this point to invest the money. This is how you grow the money. So it's one thing to have one corn seed or one apple seed. That's not going to really do too much, but it's a start because it's a seed. So once we plant that apple seed, it then can become an apple tree. The apple tree then harvests hundreds of thousands of apples over its lifetime. But in each one of those hundreds of thousands of apples, how many seeds are in each apple? At least 3 to 4. So now those are more trees. So think of that in the same mindset of how to grow your investment. So that's what we want to do with the investment. Then what we want to do is create multiple streams of revenue sources. So I like to always give an analogy of a tree. So let's say this is a tree and that's the baseline, this is ground. You tend to have what's called a taproot. That taproot grows about 4 to 6 feet deep into the ground. Its purpose is to gather nutrients and also absorb water. It's to feed the tree. Then you have another root that's about half the depth of that one. It also gathers water and also nutrients. But then you start having subsequent smaller, more shallower roots. What these roots are, they're also gathering a little water, a little nutrients, but not as much as the taproot and the secondary root. But what it does, it stabilizes the tree. So now the tree doesn't topple over. So that's the same method that you want to look at when you're building your income and having multiple streams. The next thing you want to do is you want to be able to increase those flows. So originally, you're going to have this one taproot. That's going to be the focus. That's your bread and butter. That's what feeds the tree. Then you want to start increasing the different sources. So when you hear us talk about having multiple streams of income, that doesn't mean we all have 6, 7, 8 roots that are tap roots. Only the first root or 2 are the tap roots. So you ultimately start building that up. So the next thing you want to do is you want to be able to save more money. You have more money to buy more seeds, more apple seeds, more corn seeds. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reinvest that money. But now we're in a position where we can start investing bigger and in more multitudes. We can start capitalizing. So now at this point, you can go from not having to just buy fractional shares or smaller amount of shares, but now you can start investing in bigger, more income producing, dividend producing investments. And then what we're going to do is we're going to increase those flows of investing. So like I said, we're going to invest more, and then we go back to our original conception, which is to create even more money. So once this rotation continues to get bigger and bigger, now it's like you go from a circle, a bigger circle, a bigger circle, a bigger circle, and that is how you build generational wealth. All right, guys, I'm Dr. Sean J. Harris. Make impact and make money while you're doing it.